everyone. Welcome to the official premiere episode of The Conspiracy Chicks, brought to you by AboveTopSecret.com, the web's #1 resource for conspiracies and alternative topics. I'm Ashley.
Hello everyone, and I'm Julie. We've got a great mix of topics for you this week, including BP cover-up once again and China's psychic children.
We'll also be exploring the disclosure of secretive banking entities. Also, the net neutrality debate that could potentially limit the content you can access online. And many more hot topics being discussed right now by thousands of ATS members.
That's right, so sit back, relax, and let us do all the work in bringing you the alternative news affecting our world today.
In bold defiance, the government and mega corporations seem to willfully ignore the cry of the people when we say, keep your hands off the internet. Just like generations past tell us about the good old days, perhaps this generation's account to their grandchildren will be reminiscing about days long gone where their internet was a free flow of information untouched by government and corporate censorship and control. The most recent saga comes to us in the topic, net neutrality is about to end. You will be restricted online. Currently at 60 flags and 90 replies. In what some describe as one step forward and two step back, network giants Verizon and Google are currently engaged in negotiations over net neutrality behind closed doors with the FCC. The full impact of these compromises are not yet fully known, and a battle of fact versus fiction is taking place with press wars. But what we do know is that there is a predominant threat for fair and unrestricted internet from control-obsessed corporate lobbying. Mega communications corporations are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to petition Congress and the FCC to ensure that the internet is more favorable to their own companies, even at the expense of the average netizen. Such greed-inspired tactics also include blocking legislation that would solidify net neutrality into law. In a worst-case scenario, the powerhouse cable and telephone companies could successfully determine the speeds of websites, which will be lightning fast and which will slow down to a crawl. Additionally, which ones won't load at all. Those in control can even block or slow down competing services, features, and content. Rather than potentially begging for scraps of the internet table, which is currently a feast of information, it's time to reiterate to these cyber power mongers that people are opposed to this agenda of content manipulation and control.
BP and the government still screwing up, this time caught out by crabs. I wish we could medicate this as easily as a sexually transmitted disease. Seems like BP are up to their old tricks again, still brushing everything to do with this disaster under the carpet. Or should that be under the sand? But the members of AboveTopSecret.com won't stand for that. With a fine-tooth comb, they are looking into a new alarming piece of evidence that this spill is still an ongoing issue and one that may affect many in years to come. It came about when the member Antar and author of the topic Oil Bubbling Up from Under the Sand posted up a video which shows oil under the sand that was only found due to crabs who dug their holes and died in the process. When standing near these holes, oil started to seep out. But hang on there, this was a beach that was said to have been cleaned. Pictures suggest otherwise. Did they simply rake over the sand in a bid to make it appear that the oil was gone? From the air, you would never even think that there was a disaster. Profit before people rings too true here. Where does the BP shenanigans stop? And what role does the US government play? Reporters were even prevented from going to the vicinities where originally the fish were washing up dead. A ploy for a cover-up is quite apparent. And let's look at the Obama government. What is he doing to correct this? Oops, I forgot. BP were a big contributor to Obama's presidential run. Tut tut tut. A case of out of sight and out of mind, says a member, broke down. And I totally agree. Tell the truth, BP. The oil you claim that has been removed has simply been covered up, in a literal sense. Due to this, the further implications are frightening. Just wait till the storm hits and the oil resurfaces. What will they do then? Like the saying goes, Big Brother is watching. BP, the members of AboveTopSecret.com are watching you, and we refuse to be lied to.
subterranean extraterrestrials, hollow earth theory, and evidence that ancient mythologies could actually have a basis in fact? Who knows what will be revealed upon the recent discovery of an intentionally sealed tunnel below Mexico's sacred ruins that date back to pre-civilization times. Now, the official speculation is that the tunnel could lead to chambers of ancient rulers who have so far eluded discovery. However, leave it to atheist members to make some extraordinary connections. Could the tunnels lead to revelations that ancient mythological figures actually existed? Since the tunnel is mysteriously located beneath the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, will the excavation give us more insight into the identity behind serpent beings found in ancient beliefs that span worldwide cultures? And let's not forget the hollow earth theory, or the existence of subterranean beings. Why did these ancients feel compelled to seal off these chambers? Atheist member Hellas ties the find into a legend related to Alexander the Great, who was tasked with sealing the tunnels leading to the underworld. Is the seal a protective barrier for surface-dwelling inhabitants against creatures that live within the Earth's depths? And why did the Aztecs, who arrived at the abandoned city centuries later, refer to the sacred location in what translates as the place where men become gods? It might sound spectacular, but you can read all of the incredible speculation regarding this intriguing find in the link below, submitted by atheist member Best Idea Yet, and currently at over 100 flags.
Are the superpowers in fact on the verge of a psychic arms race? China's totalitarian state's latest ploy to use and create psychic children for a psychic war perhaps? Seems like it's not only the USA who have been trying this. Millions have been spent on researching and encouraging extra human function in children in China. Schools and research centres are placed all over the country in a bid to develop the children's minds who possess such exceptional gifts. The children are showing an amazing amount of ability, including psychic writing, seeing with their ears, nose, mouth and other appendages. What rocks is that according to research, these kids are always spot on. China won't release their full research, so that makes me a little bit worried about what's really going on. Now, we all know that China is a hub for wanting to be the next big thing. Are these guys secretly wanting to wage a different kind of war? Is their aim to be the big head honcho of the world? Screams NWO here if you ask me. Maybe we have been looking too close to home. Now, I may sound a little crazy here, but is this the start of weaponizing the future generation of children to become almost super soldiers in a bid to make a weapon that would be too crazy to beat? Are these guys smarter than we think? There's us developing our nukes and battling with the latest technology for war, and right under our noses is a new kind of weapon, one that our nukes and aircraft are disabled against. This is mind-blowing stuff. A thread on abovetopsecret.com named Psychic Children in China by the member SRRSEN has over 48 flags and over 20 stars. The members mull over such sorts as DNA manipulation. But let's look closer to home. In 1977, former President Carter had ordered the CIA to conduct a high-level review of psychic research behind the Iron Curtain. Is this where your tax money's going, guys? A member of the House Select Committee on Intelligence says the possibility of psychic warfare is all too real and might one day call for a crash program of development similar to the Manhattan Project that built the first atom bomb. Don't this make you feel a little unprepared? But on a serious note, it does bother me that children may be getting used here, and I think this really needs to be kept an eye on. On a fun note though, maybe Obama could practice this instead of reading his prompt.